What's happening, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Gate 7 International, your number one English source for all things Olympiacos. I'm Costa with a C, and I'm joined by Labros Sirmos. How you doing,
Good, you
mate?
are. Doing good. I'm doing good. Excited after today's huge win in the Derby. Excited, for just such a great result. We go into Sunday on a high, closer to European football. Closer to our goals. And destroying Ike's chances of ever winning the title in Kariskaki. That was beautiful. I don't know. It's just great.
It's a nice, clean 2-0 victory, clean sheet included. It's the first win in a derby during the playoffs too, if I'm not mistaken.
We beat Pauk, I
We
thought, right?
beat was the Balk 4-2 victory. Was that in playoff or before playoff started? I can't
Some
remember. It doesn't
playoff.
matter. But it's the second derby victory of the season. Essentially, we've been pretty abysmal in the big games, but today was really, the last game of the season at home. I really expected a full house in the stadium. I expected the team to come out and give the fans a performance to go away happy. That's what the fans pay for. They go to watch the players perform, watch good football, and I thought that we did that today. And I think from the get go, we played a risky game. We played very up tempo, high pressure, pretty much playing on the halfway line, and we almost got punished a few times. With Levi Garcia getting caught offside at the beginning of the game, there was that call. Maybe in some other games they would have found a way to adjust the lines and make him onside, but not today. Not today. We played a risky game, high risk but high reward, and we got the goal that we deserved around the 65th minute. Magic performance from Andre Horta for me today. We can discuss that in a bit more detail as well. But before we get into things, as usual, guys, quick update on the situation with our Patreon. If you're not following us, or if you're not subscribed up to our Patreon, we offer more exclusive content over there at www.patreon.com/gate7 international. You can find more content there, different packages all the way from €1, $1, $5, or $10. And want to say a shout out to the newest members of our Patreon community, Bill Papas and Yorgos Mujo. Welcome to the community, fastest growing international community of red and white fans. So more exclusive content over there. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you're listening to us on YouTube, either live or after the show is done. If you're following on Twitter, you can get onto YouTube and join the comment section as well, and help us to keep growing and find more Olympiacos fans around the world and keep growing the red and white global community. So now that that's done, what other thoughts do you have about this game, mate? I mean, what about we look at the league table now? So as you said, today's result pretty much puts a dent in AEK's title hopes, and that puts AEK in second place and PAOK top after they beat Panathinaikos 4-1 in Tuba today. And now we've leapfrogged Panathinaikos. I think it feels like the first time that we've been above fourth this season. I just feel like we've been fourth forever almost. And it actually, so it reminds me a little bit of last season, right? So Panathinaikos came to play us, not the last game of the season, second to last game of the season in the Karaiskaki. They needed a result to, take the title, and we beat them 1-0. And then we went to PAOK and we got the win and we secured Europa League football. And I wanted to bring this picture up as well. The genius that came up with that idea. Unlucky. Not tonight, guys. Not tonight.
Not tonight.
Last year it was Reabchuk, and this year it was Andre Horta tonight with 2 goals, one in stoppage time to just kill the game. Fantastic. It's nice to. It's really positive. Really nice to end the season on a positive at the Karaiskaki, at least. And now I think also the team goes into the game against Panathinaikos with a different feeling, like more positive energy, and essentially needing 2 results so we can get a draw against Panathinaikos and secure 3rd place, secure European football without having to worry about what happens in the Greek Cup final, and not being in this scenario where we go into the Conference League final against Fiorentina needing to win to secure European football. So I think that's absolutely massive for us tonight.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. Costa. And if you'll see, I changed my background again. The ultimate choke job if you're an AEK fan. Like, how can you feel tonight choking the title away so bad? You were minutes away in Tumba, and then you choked so hard tonight. Just brutal. I think they only needed really a draw tonight, right? If they got a draw, would they have been okay? I don't know.
To be honest with you, from the moment that we're not really fighting for the first place anymore, I don't care. I don't care who wins it. I don't care if BAUK wins it. I don't care if AEK wins it. Don't necessarily agree with what Guya said the other day either about wanting BAUK to win it. I really don't care. If it's not Olympiacos winning the league, I don't care. Having said that, like, a lot of strange things have happened this season in the league. BAUK have to go to Aris now. They go to Aris away. It's not the easiest fixture in the world. Like, that's a heated derby in northern Greece, as we know. And right now, I'm watching highlights of the BAUK game on Cosmote, and like there's BAUK fans crying in the stands after the 3rd goal. It's not over. Like, AEK play Lamia at home, if I'm not mistaken.
That's a win.
Okay, they should. If they win and BAUK drop points, then they can still win it. But it's not in their hands anymore. But anyway, it's a funny old sport. You can never rule anything out.
Man, PAOK, I don't know. I can't put anything past them. I don't think it's over by any point, which is crazy. Even if they draw with Aris and AEK win, they lose the title. So they have to go there and they have to go win, And does it need to be said that all of the mysterious forces may be with Aris there at the end? Like we've seen that book written before. So I don't know. Nothing's over till it's over. I can't believe how hard they choked. Like, they had 3 weeks off to get ready for us. 2.5 weeks off. And they looked so shit. So shit. It's incredible.
They had 17 days without football, actually.
It's incredible how shit they were. I don't know. It's crazy.
I mean, maybe Almeida kind of alluded to that with his comments today. Indirectly, the fact that they're not in rhythm at all, but they were nonetheless dangerous every time you saw them break. But again, like I said at the beginning, we played a high risk game, high reward in the end, and we definitely had moments, but just we were sloppy in the final phases of the their area. We couldn't play that final pass or just make a right decision when we were close to their goal. And okay, finally we got that goal in the 65th minute, and there was the Fortunis free kick before that as well. There weren't a lot in terms of shots on target, but I felt like we were the ones that were positive, that wanted to take the game to the opponent, and we had energy, and they seemed like they were pretty lost. At least like in terms of their energy levels just weren't there. Only when Amrabat came in the last kind of 15-20 minutes, you felt like there was a threat down the right hand side. Kini picking up a quick yellow card. but otherwise, like not a lot. Like Pineda wasn't really in the game. He got moved to right back at the beginning of the second half.
Stevie Bay is terrible. He's cooked as well. What a
Yeah,
terrible player at this point in his career. Just terrible.
yeah. But also, like, I mean, a lot of the plaudits will go to Andre Orta tonight, like, and rightly so. I mean, the guy scored a goal with his left foot from outside the box, then another one with his left foot, which he admitted he didn't mean to do. So, you know, I think he has a shout for MVP, but I want to give a shout out to guess who, like Santiago Hesse in midfield. It's just another bionic performance from him. The guy's just like playing non-stop. He's pretty much played an entire league, or more than half a league campaign in Argentina when he signed for us in the summer. I'm sure he's played over 30, 35, 40 games for us this season as well. And he's non-stop machine, and he's so important for that, you know, the way that we try to play, intercepting the ball, getting in front of their midfielders and just breaking up possession, and just like that gegenpress, you know, when we lose the ball in the final third and then we immediately try and counter press, recuperate the ball. And he just does that so well, man. Like, I'm curious when the stats populate just to see how many interceptions, how many duels won in the midfield. And he's just like, so one of those players that you might not really feel like you see him a lot in the game, but just he does so much legwork, so important to our team, especially now that like Ibora's out as well and we don't have that anchor. And we've talked about that, right? Like, we felt like we missed him for sure against Bauk, just having that player that sits and kind of guides everyone. People in the comment section are having a right laugh, mate, with your CEO Labro is fire.
I'm here from the boardroom. You know, we're making decisions,
big decisions,
and we're making, you know, Costa's talking serious about the game, but I just want to break in 1 second. I heard word. I got the phone call from the boardroom, and I hear Panathinaikos is happy with Fatih Terim, and he just needs a summer to organize, and the team will be ready to go next year. He just needs one summer, and he's going to return Panathinaikos to glory. He was the correct decision to get rid of Jovanovic. That's what I'm being told. And they're going to win the cup, no problem. So that's what I've been told. That's what I've been told, guys. That's what I've been told. So.
I want to give a shout out to Steve Sy. Big ups to the DJ from Berlin. Steve, I'm learning that you were actually in the stadium tonight. We've got a nice video from you you're in Gate 7. So big ups to Steve, loyal follower, watcher of the podcast, Gate 7 International. Big ups to you, Steve. Yeah, man. What else is there to like talk about the game? Apostolopoulos, right? Like the
looks all right.
No qualms with like the coach just making that decision to throw him in. One second. There's a serious question here from Lefteris Machines. Labro, are you single? I have a beautiful cousin in Sweden for you, only for Olympiacos.
I'm not single. I'm sorry. Eleftherios.
There you have it. All of the beautiful Swedish cousins. I'm sorry. Labro Sirmos is taken. Not single.
Love IKEA. George here is.
But George says that he's free. if you have a hot Swedish cousin.
Incredible. But Apostolopoulos was really good today for me. It's sometimes like this where youngster plays and you see them where they're in a team, basically the strongest 11. You think, you know what, like a lot of them can play in these games, you know, can be inserted into them when they're surrounded by 10 senior players and be okay and play. And it's like, why have we always been so afraid to do this? You know, because I thought he played really well and didn't look overpowered, didn't look like the moment was too big for him. Today was a massive game. Olympiacos now in the driver's seat to qualify for Europe. Remember, fourth place is not a secure thing. We know the cup final is a path, but we want to secure third place, hopefully. So this was huge. He played really well. I thought he handled the wingers of AEK quite well. He had a few moments, but he's also 21 and never played first team football, and et cetera, et cetera. I remember when he came from Ceres. Did he come from Ceres or something? And everyone was like, oh, this guy's fucking good. He's going to be amazing, blah, 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 blah. And we didn't see him for like 3 years. And you see some sparks of why people thought he would be good and could possibly play first team football for Olympiacos. So we'll see. I'm just so not on him, but I'm so disappointed with Richards, man. Like, it's like almost a finished footballer. Like, you can't. He played 45 minutes versus Aston Villa, and it was like, that's it. Like, that's it. It's just, geez, dude. You know what I mean? Just completely unreliable. Showed sparks of talent, but it's just nowhere near able to be trusted upon or counted on by the club, which we got burned a lot by not having a left back all season. It makes you think, why didn't we play Apostolopoulos a bit earlier? So I don't know. It's interesting. Mendilibar is not afraid to throw him out there. He threw him out there against Villa as well. It's an encouraging sign for him for next season, because we do have a shit ton of young players who are going to be coming up through the youth team that just won the European title. So it's exciting. It's exciting to see that maybe a few other players may get a chance. Not all of them, but the manager is clearly open to it. So
it's funny because you're right. Like, I think we signed him in like December or January, like 2 or 3, like 3 seasons ago. And I remember, like, you in particular were like, oh yeah, Apostolopoulos. I think you even asked Adonis Nikopolidis about him when we interviewed him. Shameless plug. If you haven't watched the interview with Adonis Nikopolidis, you can go and watch that on our YouTube channel.
Panionios manager, reportedly.
Yeah. I think there was a rumor going around.
Rumor wise, yeah.
Yeah. So
friend of the pod.
I do remember. Yeah, you asked him about him specifically when we spoke with him. But it's funny because I've heard a lot of journalists in Greece talking about him and the youth team, like the team that won the youth league, but he never played with them. I swear, like, he never played. He was not the starting left back for that under 19s team. No. He's 21. Yeah, he's nearly 22, and he's been playing on and off for the B team. Like, he's not been a regular or anything like that. And just, all of a sudden for him to turn up out of the blue, and, he's essentially been forced into the matchday squad against Aston Villa because, like you said, Richards couldn't make it. We started with Kinney, and, he's played in every game actually. So, 3 games in a row now, Villa away, Villa at home, PAOK away, and then today starting against AEK. And I thought he did pretty well, man. I don't want to overplay the.
I didn't think it was like a masterclass by any, but you don't expect that. But also
passion. There was passion in everything that he did, right? Which is what you expect from like all our youth team players coming into the team. And I think what you said is really important about the fact that, these players typically they get thrown into situations where they're like, oh, we're going to give them a chance in a cup game where we rotate 10 players. And then you're like, oh, he wasn't very good. But like, you want to put those players in a situation where they're playing in a team that's settled, and you want to give them the confidence that they're around like the best players in the team. And I think that's something that we did really poorly over the last few years. Like, how many times have we seen players young, we thought with potential, that have just not really been given a chance with the first team players, but they've been given opportunities in these games where, Martins used to rotate more than half the team. it's not the way to do it. And actually, no, big kudos again to the man with the balls the size of watermelons, as Ari says, Coach Mendy, as they call him in Bilbao. I was learning the other day. That's great, man. I don't know that there's a question from one of the audience members about whether or not Ortega, Leidner, and Apostolopoulos is going to be enough next season, because I mean, Omar Richards, I don't know if the word's disappointed for me, but I'm just like I'm sad for him, because I thought that he was finally past it, like with his injuries and stuff. Did that Aston Villa game and the intensity, like the pace of playing against the Premier League, just like destroy his body again? I have no idea, but I'm sad, because there was a part of me that was like, I would like to keep him, because he's actually, when he's on the pitch, he's a very good player.
Yeah.
But we don't know. Like, we don't have any information regarding his injury. We did learn today. We did learn today that he has been training the last day or so, but that they considered it too great a risk to play him today. So I don't know. That's an interesting
Sunday.
That's an interesting question though about next season, right? Because essentially you're going in with Ortega, Doran Leidner, and Apostolopoulos now.
I think if you're Mendy Libar, and this is getting ahead of the skates, because we don't know if we're going to play qualifiers or whatnot, I think you go into camp with Leidner, Apostolopoulos, and Ortega, and you evaluate the situation. And if he determines that he needs another fullback, then he makes the signing. But I think at least, I would say early on in the summer, there's no need, unless we're playing those early qualifiers. So everything comes down to the final, all of the recruitment strategy. But if you determine that I just want to go into camp with these three guys and take a look, I'd be perfectly fine with that as well. So we'll see. I think Leidner is fit now as well. He's able to play.
Yeah, so what we know is that he has been playing with the B team. He's been getting some minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes here and there. But what we also know is, in general, there's a feeling that he needs to bulk up. Like, he needs to get stronger, get more confident. So it is no surprise to me, for example, that he hasn't been like pushed straight into the first team, coming back from an ACL injury at the beginning of the season. It was like the end of last season, wasn't it? Like, he's been out for a while. I think he started training again just after January, like beginning of February. So it takes some time. I think he's a player that we brought in with, a lot of hope. And there is, if you guys are interested, again, shameless plug, we did an interview with his agent. That's available for our Patreon members. So that's a little more incentive if you want to go and check out our Patreon channel, www.patreon.com/Gate7International. You can find it in the description below. And you can sign up and get access to that interview and loads of other exclusive interviews that we do. So he tells us a little bit about how that deal happened, the life of an agent, and some other things. So yeah, let's see what happens with him. There's a lot of things that we're going to need to talk about in terms of squad next year, who stays, who goes. There's been a little bit of anxiety caused today. Podence going off the pitch towards the end of the game, tears in his eyes. What does that mean? Does it mean anything, or is it is he staying? Is he going? Is he crying because he doesn't know? Is he just emotional? Who knows? Yeah, me feels.
His wife basically said he's going, though, on her Instagram. It was like, last game in the stadium. Like,
really?
Like, for fuck's sake. Yeah, didn't you see her stories? She said, quote, "The feeling that you're leaving home, heart broke. I love you at Podence." And then she said, "The last dance at home, crying emoji."
God.
So
Yeah, well,
We know who to call. Economopoulos.
it's yeah, it's weird though, man, because I mean there's always this talk about at the beginning of the season, like that he has a minimum fee, an option to trigger. Man, if there was any truth in what some have been saying about a 5 million option clause, I'm sorry, but like you trigger that not now, like months ago at Christmas, yeah. And then you maybe sell him for 15 or 20 million, I don't know, but it's very hard to find a player with that quality. I mean, look at we played with no disrespect to Masouras, but Masouras, Podence, just like the guy's touch.
Masouras was special at the weekend.
I mean,
Especially
yeah,
fucking
thrown out of the
bad.
squad. Thrown out of the
Jesus
squad.
Christ. He was
He was-
terrible. He was fucking horrible, man. Anyway, that's nothing to say anything against Masouras.
I don't want to speak too soon, but like at least you've got the quality in Gelson Martins if he can be fit after a full preseason next season.
I thought you were going to say the quality in Jovan Cabral.
I was riding my bike to the office earlier today, and I was one of the things.
And what you ran into Jovan Cabral and said, "Hey, man, lace it up. We need you." What?
One of the things that came to my mind was that when we sold Podence that summer for what was it? No, sorry, Christmas. We were looking for alternatives in the summer, and like Jovan Cabral's name has been in the press every summer, and it's like, oh, we're gonna go and get Cabral, and he's gonna be the Adi Podence, and it's just like, is this a joke? You know,
Adi Tarkidiamas, man. Like,
yeah. But I am getting some information now that Wolves want to sell Podence, guaranteed they need the money because they're in financial fair play trouble. So they want to cash in on him. If you read Podence Wolves' press release when they loaned him to us last summer, there's absolutely no information in there about any option, which you can say isn't unusual. But like with their Chinese owners as well, like you can see. I mean, the guys played really well, particularly the since the beginning of the year, or when Mendilibar's come in, he's been completely rejuvenated since Mendy came in. I don't think Wolves are going to have a hard time bringing in offers. If there's no option, the question is like, to what extent do you get into a bidding war, and to what extent can you have Jorge Mendes on your side? Because as we know, if we have Jorge Mendes on our side, then I think we can probably retain him, but at what costs? Not just in terms of value, like how much money are we going to have to cough up for Podence? But then
how much are we giving away? What is it? What are we giving up? Are we giving up Horta? Are we giving up Carmo? Are we giving
what do
up?
We have to swallow as well.
We have to sell Heze as well to make funds for that transfer. There's a lot of questions in that. Yeah.
Mate, you've got Vezo and Cabral. I think they're both his players, huh? Vezo and Cabral are both his players.
Vezo is a permanent signing. Cabral is a loan.
He's a loan.
Everyone. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
So I heard we're looking at Vladimir Weiss in the summer. That's bullshit. I just made that up.
There's been a lot of talk about Iker Muniain as well, the Athletic Bilbao winger. I think he's 32. He's been at Bilbao all his life, and he's finally, like, I guess, calling it a day. They're not renewing his contract, and Mendilibar, his Basque countryman, is calling him. Or is it a present from Valverde? Call it what you want. Like, I've seen a lot of a lot of things on social media and some things in the press about him. But anyway, 2 more games left against Panathinaikos on Sunday, the last game of the season. I think it's another 8:00 kickoff Greek time, and we need just not to lose. Don't lose on Sunday, and we secure 3rd place, and we go into the final not having to worry about the Greek Cup final and whether Aris wins or whatever, and then not having any extra unwanted extra pressure against Fiorentina.
It's
in
huge.
final.
Huge game, like to give us a little, like we have Europe secured. But if anyone is trolling around Panathinaikos friends or sites or whatever, it is the end times over there, man. I don't know if you've got like Terim out, Terim, I'll explain everything that happened at the end of the season. Fans organizing Alafusos protest.
That's happening on Sunday before the game.
That's happening on Sunday before the game. Like, it is a shit show over there so hard. Like, I don't say that just to like make fun of them, but like reading Sport 24 or like Twitter, and you're seeing the most absurd clips and opinions you've ever seen in your life. And none of that would happen if Joao Carvalho had made his penalty in the penalty shootout in the Cup. We probably would still have Carvajal right now. For that reason, I think some people have mentioned it. Yes, I took Alexis Couillart's position at Olympiacos, vice president. That's why I'm dressed like this. And I have decided that Joao Carvalho, for his penalty miss that got Carvajal fired, has a lifetime contract at Olympiacos FC. Thank you, everyone. I didn't take the decision mildly, but it was an important decision. Joao, Alani, Yapada Solimani, he did it for us, guys.
He's leaving this summer, for the record.
I made calls. I've spoken to sources. Jesus. If it's up to me, Joao will be back next summer to miss penalties in training. You heard it here first.
Let's I don't know if I can handle a penalty shootout in the final. Not again.
Oh God, if Joao Carvalho steps up for a fucking penalty in the final, someone's gonna cut that clip right there. God damn it.
My God.
I should have thought of that. Anyway, I'm looking at the time, and I gotta go in the next 2 to 3 minutes, so maybe we open the line.
Give me your man of the match, and to those that are following us on YouTube as well, you can vote exclusively on the channel. Vote for your man of the match. We've got 4 options there: Andre Horta, Santiago Heze, Daniel Podence. Write us in the comments if you think we've missed someone. At the moment, Andre Horta's leading with 78% of the vote, 17%, 19% to Santiago Hesse right now, and let us know who you think your man of the match was, guys. What do you got, Labro?
I think it's easy. It's Andrea Ricardo Doi, right? That's what. You guys thought where I was going. No. It's Horta. Come on, it's Horta. 2 goals, played great. I don't know what his option is. There's reports.
I think 4.5 to 6 million.
Economidis from Sport 24, who has a ton of information, says that he really wants to stay and that there's already been contact with the clubs. So I hope he stays. I think he has to be the man of the match because of the goals. So, let's see. From Mendilibar, I want to say A- only because he could have taken Coutinho off and saved him for Sunday. It's a bit disappointed that he's going to be suspended. I think, I don't know why we've stopped using Jovetic. I've really enjoyed him this season. I know he didn't have a great first half against Fener, but can we play him more? I do enjoy watching him, and I'm also disappointed El Arabi didn't get the curtain call at the end. Come on, man, for fuck's sake, just put him on. We all want to see it. So, anyway. that's mine. And on that note, I'm going to let you go. And everyone in the chat, feel free to join. Costa will drop the link. Have a great night. I'm off to Athens tomorrow, so hopefully I bring luck for the game on Sunday. I'll talk to you all soon.
Take care. Have a safe trip.
Bye-bye.
See you in Athens.
See you in Athens. Bye-bye, everyone.
Ciao. Okay, guys, I'm going to stay with you for a little bit longer. See, there's more and more people joining the chat. There's a question from John Nikolopoulos, says, why was Podence crying? We just talked about that, mate, just before you joined. Yeah, it seems like he's left the pitch crying, and his girlfriend's put up a story on Twitter as well. Apparently, Labros was telling me last game in Karaiskaki, whatever that means. So the last dance at home, what she's posted. So uncertainty there. We know that Wolves need to sell him because they have financial fair play issues. So a great deal of uncertainty there on that topic. I see very active Vladislav Kovachev. Your Greek looks very, very good. And I think I'll stick around for another 20 minutes max. And I'm going to drop the link in the chat. If anybody wants to come on and join me, give me your thoughts on today's game and anything else that you want to talk about. I'm going to stick around, like I said, until midnight Greek time. And the link's in the chat now for anyone who wants to join on YouTube. Again, if you're following on X, formerly Twitter, you can get over to YouTube and you can join the show live by clicking the link just posted in the chat. Same for those that are on Facebook or Twitch. Get on over to YouTube. Don't forget to hit the like button. We're almost hitting an hour for the show today. Yeah, keep the comments coming, guys. If you have any questions, comments about the game. Vladislav says, I was in the game between Barcelona and Olympiacos, and then everything changed. Failed in love. Cryptic message. Christoph Fidelis just said, Podence has a €5 million release clause. Is that a question from Nikos? Like I said earlier, Nico, there's no... The information there is unclear. There's nothing in Wolves' press release. And again, this is a deal that we've done with Jorge Mendes. So Podence will go where Jorge Mendes wants him to go. Yes, I'm pretty sure that was reported by a couple of Greek journalists. But then again, if you guys remember when we re-signed Miralas on loan from Everton, there were quite a few journalists saying that there was a permanent, there was an obligation to buy. And we all know how that ended with him leaving before his loan actually ended. So, you know, these deals, these loan deals are always quite uncertain. You never know what the truth is. And even if there is an option that is agreed, most of the time the club tries to renegotiate to bring the cost down. So we'll see. I think that the best thing that we can do now is wait until the end of the season. There are two games left against Panathinaikos on Sunday, and then the massive historic game against Fiorentina on the 29th of May in Athens for the Conference League. So he's not done yet. I think the emotions probably got to everyone today surrounding Podence, but let's not speak too soon. Notice SK says, Costa, has there been any comms on how the club will distribute our 9,000 tickets for the final? I'm assuming season ticket holders get priority. We don't know anything, Noti, about the tickets. So there will be 9,000 tickets made available for Olympiacos fans, 9,000 tickets for Fiorentina fans, and the rest go to they're distributed by UEFA. Having said that, you've probably seen reports that Fiorentina, it doesn't look like Fiorentina are going to take all 9,000 of their tickets. So those tickets that are left over will be distributed back to UEFA. The club hasn't communicated anything on how they will prioritize the tickets. In basketball, for the Final Four, the last few years, the priority has gone to season ticket holders. And for away games in football, the away tickets have always been prioritized for against season ticket holders. Unclear at this stage. As you can imagine, demand is absolutely through the roof. People, everyone would like to get into the stadium that is an Olympiacos fan, even some Olympiacos fans that haven't even been to the stadium, that live in Greece, that have never been to the stadium all season. All of a sudden, they remember that they're Olympiacos fans and they want to go to the final. So it's a bit savage trying to get a ticket for the final. But as soon as we have any information, we'll be sharing that on our socials, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook alike. We'll keep you updated on that situation. Says Vladislav says, I'm going to the final, going to leave work and travel to Athens. We need to support. I think that there's a lot of people that are traveling from all over the world. We know of too many people that are traveling from Australia, from Canada, from North America, from all the different corners of the world, paying ridiculous prices for tickets on some of these sites like StubHub. Tickets are being sold between 800 and 1,300 euros, I've seen. And I know some people that have just booked their tickets via StubHub. They've paid their tickets from Canada or wherever it is to come. And some people that are going to the game that haven't even secured a ticket, but they're just going there to be in Athens for the occasion and hoping that they manage to get in, find a ticket last minute. So it's crazy. Yes, I will be going to the final. Labros is traveling out as well. Marshall, I think, has booked his ticket as well. So there will be at least 4 of us out there for the final. Hussein, yes, we will organize a meeting in Athens. Maybe the night before. Keep you posted on that. Vladislav says he had to pay 300 euros for a ticket. Yeah. And Steve says the remaining tickets from Fiorentina return to Olympiacos. Yep. Anybody that has season ticket this year is going to make a statement that there'll be a lottery from by Olympiacos. The next 2 days, they will announce it. That's information that I haven't heard. But again, if you have 20,000 season ticket holders, how do you decide who gets them? Yeah. So let's see. Loyal follower JOK says exactly, Costa. When we lost so many games, people forgot that they were Olympiacos. Now suddenly people like Gavreb Tigunya. Greetings to my friend Sensei Guruni from Athens. Thodoros from Patra. There you go. So this is breaking news from Steve. Steve, thank you so much for sharing that. What Steve's saying is that there's going to be a lottery. So that's the way that they're going to distribute the tickets. So anyone that has a season ticket, all 20,000, they're going to be put into a raffle, and they'll pick out names, numbers, and that's how they decide. And to be honest with you guys, in my humble opinion, that's the way it should be done. If you pay money as a season ticket holder, if you're there week in, week out, most of the time with your season ticket, fair is fair. You can't ignore those people that loyally support the club week in, week out, pay good money to have their seats secured. And for a game like this, a historic occasion, I think that's fair. Good old friend Rollface says, if we win conference and Panathinaikos win the cup, does Aris get the last conference spot? I'm not 100% sure on that, Rollface. So if we win the conference, Bar win the cup, I think they do. And they start from the second round of the Conference League qualifiers. Yorgos Murzanos asking me, how much would I give for Carmo? It's not my money, mate. I don't know how much I'd give for Carmo. He's got a 16 million option, if I remember well. We don't have that kind of money to give. I mean, I think he's been great for us. He's come in and needed minimal time to adjust. And having that kind of player with that stature, size, confidence, ability, technique on the ball, he's been brilliant. I think he's been a major contributing factor to the success that we've had in the second half of the season, especially after Mendilibar's come in. It's going to be very hard to replace. How much would I give for him? Man, Porto paid 22 million for him, I think. Do I think 16 million is overvalued in this market? Probably not. But for Olympiacos, it's a lot of money. When's the last time we paid that kind of money for a player? I don't remember. I still seem to remember, Diogo being our biggest spend. How much we pay for Diogo? About 10 million euros when we signed him. Are we ever going to pay 16 million for a player? No. We'll see, guys. When it comes to transfers, we've got all summer to talk about that. Still 2 games left. Like, we have to. Okay, we're here to talk about anything and everything that you want. But let's see. There is a possibility with David Carmo that we might extend his loan. That depends on whether Sergio Conceição continues at Porto. If I remember correctly, Conceição signed a contract extension with Porto. He's fallen out with Carmo. So could we extend the loan deal? Possibly, but don't forget, loan deal doesn't mean that we get him for zero and we just pay his wages. I mean, we'll probably have to cover a significant part of his wages, 80%, maybe 100, but then also pay a fee. So I don't know. And who's to say that there won't be other clubs from top 4 leagues that will want, that will look at Carmo and offer Porto good money. I mean, what, 16 million, 18 million euros for a Premier League team or a Spanish team? It's not a lot for them. For us, it is. Steve says 15 millions we took for our Conference League performance. Hope Carmo stays. You and me both, mate. Like, if you ask me right now, yes, no, like, absolutely. I'd love for him to stay. Just another reminder, guys. Some of you guys seem shy today, but I am dropping the link into the chat one more time. I'm going to stick around for another 10 minutes at least. Hit the hour mark with you after a nice result tonight against AEK. There's the link in the chat for those of you that want to come on, get onto the show live, have a little chat with me. Marina Kiritsi, new follower, I believe, very loyal, very chatty in the comments. Thank you for your support, Marina. Says congratulations to Mendilibar, General Power. More comment from Vladislav. Says the goalkeeper Roberto, if you remember him, he cost us a lot, but it was worth it if he played his heart for Olympiacos and the 7. Yeah, I remember his deal being announced halfway through a game. I remember that very, very vividly. He deserved to have his option activated. He deserved that permanent transfer, particularly after that those performances that he had for us in the group stages of the Champions League that got us to the knockout round against Manchester United. I think that was I think it was around 6 million we paid for him. Νόηνας Χριστάκωσες, καλησπέρα Κώστα. Το σωστό είναι το διαρκείας να λάβουν την αναλογία στα 9.000 εισιτήρια. Π.χ. το 20, like he says, okay, 20,000 of the 34,000 seats in the Karaiskaki account for 60% of total tickets. Everybody should get a chance. Yeah, mate. Yeah, I don't envy anyone at Olympiacos that has to deal with this situation. I mean, we have talked to people at in and around the club. The amount of calls that they've been getting, then like immediately after the win against Villa, the day after, from high places, it's insane. It's not an enviable position to be in, to try and make that choice of who goes in and who stays out. Like I said, there are Olympiacos fans from not Greece, not just Greece, but all over the world that are coming for this game. People are paying thousands and thousands of euros, of dollars, to get to Greece without a ticket. To just be in the city. Just understand what that means. Midnight Sprites asking, does 6th place get a European qualifier spot too, or for next year if we win the Conference League? I'm also a Lamia fan. Okay. Next year we have, I think, still 5 spots. I need to double check Sprite. I need to double check. But I think we will have 2 Europa League spots next season, at the end of next season. But I'll double check that. Feel free to ask again on the next show. Thanks for the question. Here we go. Nikos Dimopoulos says Kalispera from Gate 7, Sydney. Gail saying, my voice is away, Costa, otherwise I would join you like always. You got to keep up the glory, my friends. But it's not a European night, so I'll let you off tonight. I'll let you off. We've got another Vladislav's coming from Germany, so Steve's happy. That's an interesting question. Who would you promote from the academy next season, and who would you bring back from loan? Man, I really like. There are a lot of the youth team players that I liked, honestly. Given our situation on the wing, with Masouras, in my opinion, probably going. I mean, his performance against PAOK was really deflating. I mean, he's one of those players that you can have a shocker, and then the next game he'll just like he'll prove you wrong, or he'll go and score a goal, get an assist, maybe score 2, and you're just like, I can't say anything bad about Masouras, because Masouras, for me, he embodies like common Greek, young Greek aspiring football player that grew up with Giovanni posters in his room, that he dreamt to play for Olympiacos. And you see that in the way that he celebrates, like the way he is around the stadium. I can't say a bad word about him. Like, okay, he frustrates the hell out of me some games, but now's a chance for him. His contract is finished. He can go and experience what it's like to play in the German league. If that's, by the looks of it, that's where he's going to be ending up. Whether it's with Bochum, say what you will, it's not a club that plays in Europe, but he owes that to himself. That's what he feels. I won't ever say anything overly negative about him. But I digress. The question was about the academy players, and because we have a situation where we're probably losing Masuras, we might be losing Podence next season. We end up with only one pure winger, which is Gelson Martins, who has been going through injury troubles the last couple of seasons. So Papacanelos, Pneumonidis, they look like players that I'd like to see at preseason camp. Even Mouzakitis, if Carvalho is currently fifth option. You look at the situation in midfield. We have Hesse, Andreotta. Is he going to stay? Chiquinho is a permanent transfer. So those are the two. Like Carvalho's contract is ending. You don't have a lot of options in the center of the park. I mean, you mentioned loans that are coming back. Pepe's on loan at Bafos. Can I see him playing? No, not really. So I like Mouzakitis. I'd like to see him, and we have heard from people in the academy, or at least even at the end of last season. Jose Inigo said publicly, he was managing the club at the end of last season, as you will all remember, that there are two players that have what it takes to be part of the first team. One of them was Babis Kostoulas, and the other one was Christos Mouzakitis. So he's a player that I won't be surprised to see at preseason camp. Kostoulas for sure. El Arabi's going, but pretty safe to say. Yeah, his contract's coming to an end. It's a shame we didn't see him today, even for a minute, to get clapped off. We don't know what's happening with El Kabi. Not that I'm saying that Kostoulas should take all the, should be our starter next season, but certainly should be at least third option with the first team, training with the first team. There's a lot of players, guys. Even the right back, the captain of the under-19 team, Kutsogoulas, he looked very good. With the under-19s team. I mean, to me, he's a better player than Apostolopoulos. And with the way that Rodinei's been run into the ground, playing Thursday, Sunday, Wednesday, then probably Sunday again against Panathinaikos, with us giving away Androutsos on a loan and Vrusai on a loan, you could have brought Kutsogoulas up. I think he's also 20. I think he's 20 years old. So, and I haven't even mentioned like Koutsidis, the centre back that went to Turkey for the away game to fill in because we were missing Retsos, I think, for the return leg, if I remember well, against Fenerbahce. So there's a hell of a lot. There's a hell of a lot of talent. I haven't even mentioned the kid Bakulas that scored the bicycle kick. That's hopeful, guys. Like there's, that under-19s team. Their greatest trait for me was that they played as a team. Like there's certainly individual talent there, but just for anybody that watched their games, just the way that they played, that 3-4-3 formation with the three centre backs and the wing backs going up and down. Kostoulas playing as the point man, breaking the ball out on the left hand side, the right hand side, just being that hold up guy that had the ability to kind of run at defenders when we were going out on the counter attack, able to turn like big strong lads, like only barely turned 17 recently. I'm very hopeful for these guys, and the fact that we've seen signs from this coach, from Mendy, that he has no problem throwing in players like Apostolopoulos, then let's see. Let's see. I think there's a lot for us to be hopeful about in that respect. For loans, to be honest, I can't think of many. Maybe like Pep Biel's one high-profile loan, but if you ask me, I think we should cash in on that. But then again, he has been playing for Mainz mainly as a role player coming off the bench, and he's not scored a single goal or got a single assist. So what value he will have on the transfer market this summer, I'm not sure. Certainly not enough to force Mainz. Is it Mainz that he's playing for? No. Anyway, it's not gonna bring a fee. Augsburg, sorry, it's Augsburg that he's playing for. They're not going to pay for him. I can't see them paying for him. And it's his former manager from Copenhagen that's taking him there as well. Marina saying we can take Garbo. Marinakis offered 17.5 million for the player. They don't want him back to his team. It's the biggest amount Olympiacos has ever proposed for a player. I don't know what information you have, Marina. If we've offered 17.5 million, big ups to Bagarati. Aris Bulubasis, our co-host, he says 4 spots next season. Next season 5. The following if we win Conference League. So 5 European spots next season if we win the Conference League. Yorgos Murdzano says Masouras since Mendy's arrival has been awful. Before he was prime Masouras. What about Iborra? Do I like him? Man, I think that a lot of people need to apologize for the shit that he's heard and some of the shit that Antonio Cordon heard. I think a lot of people generally just expect that the damage that was done last season and just that we could fix everything in the summer. It was a fallacy. Like, I think our reputation was in a pretty bad place this summer. A lot of uncertainty around the club as well in terms of, we weren't secured in Europe. We didn't win a game last season in Europe either. I personally didn't see us as a hugely attractive place to go compared to other seasons. Yeah. I think Iborra and Kini signings were, from the get-go, squad signings. Experienced players to come in and be in the dressing room. Iborra in particular, guys. They're talking about a guy here that's won 4 Europa Leagues. Then ganas ticheos, as they say in Greek. Like, he's not a nobody. He knows what it means to play at the highest level, to win competitions. It's not really a surprise to me, the way that he's played the last few games, and all of a sudden everybody's raving about him. It's not a surprise to me. It really isn't. And I think a lot of it has to do with personnel, who he has around him, formations. Like, how do you play him? How do you get the best out of him? Diego Martinez was playing him as a pivot in a double pivot formation with Hesse at the beginning of the season. Now he's playing in a 3-man, like a proper 3-man midfield, where his role is to kind of sit behind Hesse and Chiquinho and use his experience to kind of step into the right place, position himself well to try and stave off dangerous counterattacks or dangerous situations. I mean, the guy has incredible experience, and that's what elevates his performance and by extension elevates the performance of the team and makes everybody else in the team better as well around him. And I think we missed him big time against PAOK. He knows how to turn it on and off in a game mentally. He won't get sucked into what the PAOK players tried to do on Sunday. The PAOK players, they tried to get into our heads. They tried to play. They played aggressive. They were falling over, or they were trying to get Podence sent off. Like, he's the kind of player that you want on the pitch to calm people down. He knows also, like, to go in and make a big tackle, to kind of change the momentum as well in those kinds of situations when you're down. So I think he's been a low risk signing. He was free, and I think it's super important that we have him in the final. We look a different team when he's on the pitch, and I think we saw that against Aston Villa. And anybody that has a different opinion, I'm happy to entertain that. Absolutely. Geo says Papacanelos, Kostoulas, Koutsidis, those three players would bring up for sure. Grove says, broke my heart when I saw Podence crying. Yeah. Learca, why are we losing Masuras? He's out of contract, mate. No news on a new contract either. And I mean, this is just gossip, but there was a post from Bochum, I think last week, and he liked it, and there was a bit of fuss about that as well. But we'll see. Like I said, I think if we lose him, at least we have the prospect of a couple of like young, talented Greek players that play out on the wing that can come in and hopefully bring some enthusiasm and the same kind of love and passion that he brings, being an Olympiacos fan, and then trading that for up and coming young, talented players from our youth team setup. So let's see. Marina is saying the most important thing is that all Olympiacos fans have the same opportunity to go to the match, because here in Greece they have fight for a ticket to the final. Yeah, that topic isn't going away anytime soon. For those of you that just joined recently, we did get some information via our good friend Steve that was in the stadium today that tickets for the final will be allocated by the club via a raffle or a lottery. Season ticket holders, that is. So if you're a season ticket holder, you will enter a lottery, and hope you're one of the lucky ones. Fingers crossed for you. Otherwise, guys, keep your eyes and ears opened right up until the day of the game. We don't know what's going to happen yet with Fiorentina tickets that are going to be sent back. In all the likelihood is that the tickets will be distributed back to UEFA. And keep an eye out on announcements from UEFA's socials. I do suggest that you follow UEFA's handles, the Conference League handle in particular as well. You never know. Agibu Kalogeropoulos says Nikos. Agibu didn't have a great season at Atromitos as far as I know, and I think his contract is up at the end of next season. I don't really see him wanting to stay. Unfortunately, I see that a little bit as a Madi Camara repeat. I don't know how we save that, because he's not a bad player. I think he fits the category of player that I was mentioning earlier about the type of player that could be really good with experienced players around him. Because let's be honest, like at Atromitos, he doesn't have the quality around him to stand out more. But sure, maybe. BL, like I said earlier, probably not. Kalogeropoulos had a very good season at Volos. His numbers are great. And I think he was also in a top 100 kind of young players globally. I can't remember which publication it was. It was a pretty big one, and it went below radar. But Kalogeropoulos had a very good season. Very, very good season. He's one of the top I think one of the top 5 centre-backs in the league, statistically, if you look at the data. So, don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if you see him around next season as well. Generally, at centre-back, there's a lot of talent between him and the other Kostulas brother, Konstantinos Kostulas, Isidoros Koutsidis. There's talent at the back, for sure. Rolfe says the fact we didn't see El Arabi getting playing time today makes me think he'll sign an extension on a smaller salary. Who knows? Who knows? I think he's a great player to have around the dressing room. But I don't think he can't play more than 15, 20 minutes. Max, if that. So I think it's sad that he didn't get a send-off today. But again, guys, the season's not over. The season's not over. We still might see him again. Sensei Gurun is asking me, do I know where Madi Camara is? I don't have news for him for a while. He's probably enjoying some time in Greek cafes in the Paraliaki in the south of Athens, without a care in the world, waiting for the end of the season. We could have a big discussion about this, whether or not we should be utilizing him, because he could be a good squad option to rest a player like Chiquinho, for example. Or now, we're going to Panathinaikos on Sunday, and who are we going to play? Ibora's, in all likelihood, not going to play against Panathinaikos, as far as I'm aware, at this moment in time. They want to make sure that he's fit and ready to go for the final. But we don't have a lot of options in midfield now. It's Hesse and Andre Orta. And Chiquinho is suspended. And Ibora is injured. So what do you do? Do you bring Mouzakidis up and take him to the game? Alexandropoulos is clear. He wasn't in the squad today. The last game he played was against Lamia, 15, 20-minute cameo where he scored at the end. Will he play on Sunday? I don't know. It doesn't look like the coach really fancies him. And it's either that or he has a clause in his loan contract that stipulates a certain number of matches that he plays, which would trigger an automatic buyout. I'm speculating. But that's certainly something that we talk amongst ourselves. In the Patreon group as well. Again, shameless plug. If you want to join our Patreon community for €1 or $1 a month, you can get access to our WhatsApp group. It's getting bigger and bigger. Over 60, 65 people in that WhatsApp group right now. For $5, you can get access to exclusive extra content, everything from kind of match day analysis, enhanced analysis, interviews with folks from the football community in and around Olympiacos, some really good stuff there. We spoke to the former president of Huracan. That's the club that Santiago Hesse came from. He's the guy that discovered Santiago Hesse. There's an interview with Doran Leidner. There's some interviews with British journalists. There's lots of interesting stuff there that you can check out. And if you pay $10 a month, you pay for our merchandise tier, so that you get merchandise with that package. More information in the description below if you'd like to join our Patreon community. Go and check that out. And guys, I'm wearing one of the hats. You can see it there. Gate 7 International Adidas hat. Super nice, super comfortable. Not just saying that because I'm a co-host. It's a nice hat. Reasonably priced as well. If you like, you can even get your name embroidered on it. I haven't, but there's good stuff on there, guys. If you want to go and check out some gear for the gym, all sorts. Go and check out the merchandise at Gate 7 INCL. Again, description below for those of you that want to check out the merch. Last chance, I'd say, to like and subscribe. The more likes we get, the more the algorithm helps us to find more Olympiacos fans around the world. The community continues to grow. I believe we're getting close to around 4,500 subs. It's been a fantastic couple of weeks. Results have been great. The support from the community has been fantastic. Absolutely thrilled to have found more Olympiacos fans these past couple of months. It's been a crazy roller coaster 2 seasons in particular, and I'm very happy that we're getting nice attendances after good results, because I remember before it was like, we were having loads of people coming on after. I mean, we're here for the good times and the bad, but sometimes, like, after a good result, like, we wouldn't have many people here today saying, we did the business, we're used to winning. What is there to talk about? And we'd lose games and we'd have hundreds of people in here, and we'd talk about things. But it's nice to see like that kind of same positive enthusiasm now. We're on a good roll, and just like, it's obviously unprecedented times, and there's a lot of excitement and desire to make history and become the first club in Greece to lift a European trophy. And by God, I pray that we are the first ones to do it. I was lucky enough to watch Greece win Euro 2004 in Portugal in 2004, and I have this thing in my mind, just like I've said it before on the show, that I feel like it's in the stars, and I don't want to jinx it, but it's just my feeling. It's just my feeling that we would get to the final, and I'd like to think that 20 years after Euro 2004, in 2024, Olympiacos is the one that does it as the first Greek club to win a European trophy. And I'm not going to get emotional now, but I'm happy that I will be traveling out to Athens for the final. I hope to maybe get the opportunity to see as many of you as possible. Again, among the Patreon community, it's certainly something that we've raised. We'd like to get together for drinks with as many people as we can the night before the game, or hopefully if a bunch of you manage to get tickets for the game as well, why not meet outside near Philadelphia at the OPAP Arena, or AEK Arena as it's going to be called, on that night. Lots of things to look forward to, guys, and again, very, very grateful for all the support that we get. Not just speaking for myself, but I think I speak on behalf of all the co-hosts, myself, Costa with a C, Costa with a K, Aris Bouloubasis, Labros Sirmos, Dimitris Krimtsidis, Marshall Debo. We're an international community here. The co-hosts ourselves, from North America, from Belgium, from France, from Greece, from the UK. And always fantastic to see the diversity in the chat. Last chance, guys. Like and subscribe. Keep up to date with everything that is Olympiacos. Gate 7 International is here. The good times and the bads. Keep growing the Olympiacos community. Olympiacos isn't just a Greek club. We're here to make sure that Olympiacos is recognized as a global club, to bring together Olympiacos fans from all over the world. Spread the love, spread the word. Let's make new Olympiacos fans out of people that know very little about Greek football. Let's get them into Greek football, into Olympiacos via this channel. That's one of the reasons why we speak English here as well. Yes, Marina, Olympiacos has the most people of Greece and other countries. And I think we're going to call it a night, guys. I said that I would go for an hour, and now we're almost 1.5 hours into the show. I think I'm going to call it there. Again, thank you very much for the support you give us. Thank you for turning up tonight. on the show. Good night for us. 2-0 victory, clean victory against AEK at home in the last home game of the season. We're very, very close to securing that European spot. All we need now is to not lose on Sunday against Panathinaikos. So we have two results that we can get. On the weekend, of course, we're going to go to Leoforos for the win, as always, because that's what Olympiacos does. Quick shout out before I leave to Tom Stepas. Thank you for all your support, Tom, from New Jersey, United States. Fantastic game tonight. I'm emotional about Podence. I don't want him to go. Yeah. We'll have more time to talk about that next time, guys. We'll be back on Sunday after the Panathinaikos game, as usual, for that Sunday night live stream. Night, depending on whether you're in Europe. If you're in the United States, that will be a little bit earlier. If you haven't checked out the vlog, the Aston Villa, the Olympiacos Aston Villa vlog, where have you been? Go and check that out. It's on our YouTube channel. It's pinned on our Twitter, I think, as well. Kostas Lianos did a great job getting footage from that game. We've put together a really nice vlog that really takes you inside the stadium. You feel the noise, feel the passion, feel the heat, feel all the magic of the Karaiskaki to the best of the ability that one of these vlogs can do that. Go and check out the vlog. It's very, 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 very good. That's all we've got time for, ladies and gentlemen. One more time, this is Gate 7 International. My name is Costa with a C. We're Olympiacos. Gate 7 International by the fans, for the fans. We'll see you next time.
Κάτι μαγικό, όπου πας εσύ θα με πάντα